This is your time to let go. A journey of calm and serenity. Follow the rhythm of my voice into deep rest, with every note of the music, designed with soothing frequencies, allowing your body, mind, and soul to drift into perfect relaxation. And now take a deep breath in and out and in and out. Imagine the world at the very edge of dawn, when the air is still, cool, and filled with quiet expectation. The sky stretches endlessly above, a soft gradient of gray, pale lavender, and the faintest hint of pink and gold where the first rays of sunlight begin to touch the horizon. The earth below is calm, wrapped in a gentle hush, the kind that only exists in these rare early moments before the day fully awakens. Everything is still, everything is waiting. And you, sitting here, are invited to join this quiet, this pause between night and morning, this delicate space where time seems to slow. It is the early morning of February 28th, 1994. 6 pilots prepare for a flight that will take them high into the sky. Not just any flight, but a mission that carries the weight of purpose, the hum of expectation, and the quiet courage of those who step into the unknown. The planes they will fly are small, aging, humble in their appearance, but each one alive with the gentle thrum of engines waiting to awaken. Picture them on the ground, lined up like quiet sentinels. Their metal bodies gleam faintly in the dim morning light, reflecting the sky above in soft, muted tones. The air around them smells faintly of fuel and metal, a scent that is familiar to these pilots, grounding and oddly comforting. Step by step, the men climb into their machines, each movement slow, deliberate, as if every action is a small ritual. The straps of the harness click softly, securing them in place. Fingers rest lightly on the controls, feeling the weight and texture of the instruments. They breathe, long and steady, aligning themselves with the rhythm of the engines, with the rhythm of the air, with the rhythm of the morning. A gentle radio call breaks the silence. It is soft, almost melodic, carried lightly on the wind. A nod here, a small glance there, and the engines awaken fully, humming, purring, singing a low, constant note that vibrates through the quiet. Each vibration seems to echo in your own body as you listen, grounding you, slowing you, inviting you to become part of this gentle orchestration. The planes begin to roll forward, their wheels whispering against the tarmac, leaving tiny impressions that fade quickly as they lift into the air. One by one, they rise, lifting into the dawn, wings cutting softly through the cool air, leaving the solid ground behind. Now imagine yourself floating alongside them. You are weightless. Your body feels light, free, drifting effortlessly with the planes. Beneath you, the earth stretches out like a soft patchwork quilt of valleys, hills, and fields. Rivers glint like silver threads, winding quietly through the landscape. Villages appear as tiny clusters, peaceful and calm, like islands in a vast green sea. The morning light glows over everything, gentle, forgiving, warm in its early touch. Every detail is sharp and yet softened at the same time, like a memory remembered in a dream. The pilots breathe slowly, steadily, their eyes scanning the horizon with a calm focus. There is no hurry here, no panic. Every motion is deliberate, every thought quiet. They glide forward in perfect harmony, engines humming, wings steady. And you, as you watch, as you drift along, feel the same harmony in yourself. Each breath in draws in calm. Each breath out releases tension. Each heartbeat aligns with the subtle rhythm of flight, with the gentle rise and fall of the wings slicing through the air. Look at the clouds above, drifting lazily, glowing faintly with the morning light. They move with the ease of water flowing, soft, round, inviting. Some are small and wispy, some large and billowing, casting gentle shadows on the earth below. Watch as the sun begins to paint golden highlights along their edges, reflecting in glimmers that dance like tiny fireflies across the vast expanse. Feel yourself moving with the clouds, floating, carried effortlessly, free to drift wherever the currents take you. And now, listen to the soft hum of the engines again. Hear the subtle vibrations through the air, the delicate whine of metal moving, of wings adjusting, of machines alive with quiet energy. It is not a roar, not a warning, not an alarm. It is a gentle, continuous sound, like a lullaby that stretches across the horizon, that travels through the sky and settles gently around you. Let it wash over your mind, smoothing every thought, softening every worry, guiding you further into calm. Imagine the pilots exchanging quiet words on the radio, each voice soft, measured, calm. They speak not in urgency but in rhythm. One voice calls a gentle acknowledgement, the other responds. The conversation stretches slowly, fading in and out with pauses so long that silence becomes part of the music. And you, drifting along with them, begin to notice your own inner voice quieting, echoing less, letting the stillness grow. The planes rise higher, above 2,000 meters, but in this moment, the sky feels endless, open, safe. There is no danger here. There is no hurry. Only you, the pilots, the clouds, the soft morning light, and the gentle rise and fall of air currents. Allow yourself to imagine the wind brushing your skin, the soft pressure of altitude, the feeling of being carried without effort, without struggle. Feel your body relax, your thoughts slow, your heart rate gentle and steady. You are part of this moment, floating alongside these men, moving through the sky with grace and ease. And if your eyes wish to close now, let them close. There is nothing you need to see but the light behind your eyelids. Nothing you need to feel but the softness surrounding you. Nothing you need to hear but the gentle hum of air and engines blending together into one continuous, peaceful note. You are held, you are carried, you are free. The journey has begun. You are in the air. The morning stretches endlessly before you, and the rest of the world, with all its noise and rush, seems distant, irrelevant. Here, in this sky, there is only calm, only motion, only the gentle unfolding of time, carrying you slowly deeper into peace. The sky above stretched endlessly, a vast and infinite expanse, as if the world itself had paused to breathe in the first gentle light of dawn. Pale shades of blue blended seamlessly with the softest hints of silver, and the rising sun spilled thin threads of gold that meandered slowly across the horizon. Each ray was like a delicate brushstroke, touching the distant peaks of mountains, the rolling hills, the quiet forests, and the rivers that glittered faintly below. The light itself seemed to move with a calm, measured pace, almost as if it had consciousness, flowing slowly across the land and sky, bathing everything in a gentle, almost hypnotic glow. The air was crisp and cool, carrying the subtle scent of morning dew, mixed with the faint aroma of wet soil and distant trees. Every breath drawn seemed to stretch in time, slow and deliberate, filling the lungs fully before releasing in a long, calm exhale, as if the air itself were guiding each moment into stillness and serenity. Far below, the earth unfolded like a carefully stitched quilt, patchwork valleys, rolling hills, and winding rivers stretching as far as the eye could see. The rivers glimmered with silvery light, reflecting the sun's tentative glow, curling through the landscape with quiet elegance. Trees stood in soft clusters, their leaves brushing gently against one another in the lightest of breezes, casting shadows that stretched long and thin across the soft green of meadows. Villages, small and almost forgotten, nestled into the folds of the terrain. Roofs reflected faint light. Chimneys curled delicate smoke into the morning sky, and winding roads meandered lazily, connecting homes, fields, and distant farms. Imagine tracing each river with your eyes, following every bend and twist, letting the mind slow and soften, letting each detail expand into an infinite pattern of calm. Feel the valleys and hills breathe beneath you, their rhythm syncing gently with your own heartbeat, your own inhalation and exhalation, becoming part of the slow, expansive rhythm of the earth itself. On the tarmac below, 6 pilots moved with precise, deliberate motions around their Jastreb J-21 seconds. The metal of the aircraft gleamed faintly in the morning light, reflecting clouds above and casting muted reflections onto the pavement. Fingers traced instrument panels. Harnesses were adjusted carefully, each motion purposeful, each gesture carrying a weight of concentration and ritual. The engines hummed softly even before ignition, a vibration that resonated through every pilot, through their hands, through the soles of their boots, and even into the small spaces of their chests, where anticipation and tension mingled. Each movement, each breath, each adjustment was performed slowly, deliberately, as if stretching time itself, extending every second into an eternity. Imagine standing among them, feeling the subtle vibrations through your body, letting them enter your chest and limbs, aligning your heartbeat and breath with the rhythm of preparation, of silent anticipation, of calm readiness. The planes began their slow, rolling movement down the runway, wheels whispering against the smooth surface. One by one, they lifted into the sky, metal wings slicing through the faint morning light, engines emitting a steady hum that resonated like a low, calming chord. As they rose, the air seemed to thicken with serenity, each breath of wind brushing against the fuselage, bending gently around wings, carrying with it the scent of the earth below and the subtle warmth of sunlight reaching higher with every passing second. Each ascent was slow, deliberate, meditative. Each tilt of a wing, each slight adjustment of the aircraft's nose was extended in the mind's eye, magnified and elongated. Imagine yourself rising alongside them, weightless, floating with the currents of air, moving effortlessly through this vast, open space where time seems suspended, stretched, and endlessly expansive. The clouds drifted softly around them, each one a unique form of drifting white and silver, some curling delicately like smoke, others billowing like slow-moving mountains in the sky. Shadows moved gently across the valleys and hills below, blending with the soft light, stretching and twisting in endless slow motion. Sunlight kissed the edges of clouds, scattering flickers of gold and peach, each one catching the eye like tiny sparks of a distant, unseen fire. The planes moved among them gracefully, rising and dipping in perfect, deliberate arcs, tilting wings, adjusting to invisible currents, a hypnotic ballet of motion and precision. Imagine floating beside them, your body drifting in harmony with their movements, every muscle relaxed, every breath slow, every thought dissolving into the rhythm of engines, air, and sunlight. The pilots' minds drifted like clouds themselves. Memories of previous flights, quiet rivers glimmering in sunlight, soft mornings, distant valleys, and the hum of engines became elongated, stretched across time, each one lasting far longer than a single thought should. Thoughts repeated gently, expanded, deepened, curling back upon themselves like the twisting rivers below. Each pilot felt the subtle weight of history, of experience, of calm focus, stretching every instant into a measured, deliberate moment. Imagine your own mind moving in sync with theirs, thoughts slowing, muscles softening, body lightening, heart sinking to the continuous rhythm of motion and air. In the distance, the glint of silver appeared. 2 American F-16 seconds gliding effortlessly through the vast morning sky. Their sleek bodies moved with precision, yet with a grace that seemed almost unreal, like threads woven through the sky, moving in rhythm with the clouds, sunlight, and air. There was no urgency in their flight, no alarm, only movement, precise, deliberate, measured. The older Jastrebs adjusted subtly, tilting wings, altering arcs, rising and descending in careful response, a slow, controlled dance of awareness and balance. Every motion was drawn out, magnified, prolonged, hypnotic. Every glance at the distant jets, every calculation of trajectory, every adjustment of the controls became a meditation, a moment stretched to infinity. Feel your body drift in harmony, weightless, serene, flowing alongside the planes, every breath extending, every heartbeat slowing, every thought fading softly into the rhythm of the sky. The radio crackled gently, words drifting slowly, deliberate pauses between each phrase, creating space, creating rhythm. Instructions, acknowledgments, quiet observations, warnings, all extended, amplified, hypnotic in cadence. Let them wash over you. Inhale slowly, exhale fully. Inhale, exhale. Let the sound fill your mind, aligning breath and heartbeat with the slow, deliberate rhythm of planes, air, and Sunday thoughts fade. Muscles soften, shoulders sink. Your body floats, weightless, immersed in the hypnotic, serene movement of the morning sky. Clouds above, around, and below create a soft, undulating landscape, constantly shifting, changing, alive with movement. Sunlight scatters, glimmers, and reflects in a delicate dance, illuminating forests, rivers, valleys, and villages. Every detail magnifies, expands, repeats, drawing your mind into a meditative trance. Each inhalation lifts you slightly. Each exhalation settles you further. Every heartbeat, every subtle motion of the planes, every whisper of wind is extended, drawn out, infinite. Time loses meaning. Seconds stretch into minutes, minutes into hours. You float through this vast, slow, expanding tapestry of light, air, and motion, entirely weightless, entirely serene, entirely at peace. The American jets weave gently, arcs flowing like slow brushstrokes across the canvas of sky. No threat, no haste, only the calm poetry of movement. The older jastrebs respond with equal grace, tilting, rising, dipping, each adjustment careful, slow, deliberate, extended in time and space. Every shift of wing, every climb, every dip is magnified, hypnotic, endless. Your body drifts with them, light as air, calm as water, fully immersed in the rhythm of wind, light, and motion. Muscles melt, heart slows, breathing deepens, thoughts fade. Only serenity remains. Soft, unbroken, infinite, the horizon stretches endlessly, unbroken by obstacle, infinite in its calm. Light scatters across valleys, rivers, and forests below, dancing slowly across surfaces, reflecting, shimmering, drawing the eye deeper, slower, more mindful. Air lifts you gently. Clouds cradle you softly. Engines hum a continuous, low note that resonates throughout your chest and mind. Each movement, each breath, each moment is prolonged, drawn out, repeated softly, infinitely. Weightless, serene, completely immersed. You drift alongside the plains, carried through this vast, endless morning, fully embraced by the slow, expansive, hypnotic rhythm of the sky. Every inhale lifts, every exhale settles. Every glimmer of light, every movement of the clouds, every vibration of engines carries you deeper, slower, calmer. Time stretches endlessly. The sky, the currents, the light, the clouds, the soft hum of engines, and the gentle movement of planes form an infinite, unbroken meditation. You are weightless. You are calm. You are fully, effortlessly immersed in the hypnotic rhythm of morning flight, floating infinitely, gently, endlessly, towards serene, absolute stillness. The sky was a living, infinite canvas, stretching endlessly above the earth, its colors shifting slowly. With the gradual rise of the Sunday, pale blues melted into soft silvers, while faint streaks of gold spread lazily across the horizon, brushing the tips of distant mountains and the gentle folds of valleys below. Each ray of sunlight seemed to move with deliberate grace, illuminating forests, rivers, and scattered villages in a soft, hypnotic glow. The air itself was heavy with the scent of morning dew, mingled with the faint aroma of wet soil and pine, carrying a calmness that enveloped every living thing. With each inhale, you could feel the coolness filling your lungs, and with every exhale, the tension, the worries, and the clamor of thought released into the sky, leaving nothing but serenity. Below, the earth spread like a living tapestry. Rivers gleamed silver, winding lazily through green and brown valleys, each bend catching the sunlight like scattered gems. Forests swayed gently, their leaves brushing against one another in whispered greetings, casting moving shadows across the rolling hills. Villages lay tucked into the curves of the land, roofs catching glimmers of sunlight, chimneys releasing thin, curling trails of smoke that floated like ghosts into the soft morning air. Roads wound through this landscape like ribbons of calm, connecting the homes and fields in quiet, deliberate loops. Imagine tracing each river, each road, each tiny detail with your eyes, letting your mind slow, letting every moment expand into a meditation of infinite stillness. Above this serene world, the 6 Jastreb J-21 seconds glided with careful, deliberate precision. Their engines emitted a soft, resonant hum, vibrating gently through the pilots' bodies, into their hands, their feet, their chests. Fingers adjusted controls slowly, repeatedly checking instruments, as if prolonging each moment, extending each second to stretch time itself. The air around them seemed to move in harmony with their ascent, lifting them effortlessly, carrying their weightless bodies through currents invisible but tangible. Imagine yourself rising beside them, feeling the gentle hum of engines, the lift of air under wings, the slow, endless rhythm of ascent. Every tilt, every adjustment of a wing, every small correction is magnified in your mind, drawn out, hypnotic, endlessly calming. Then, in the distance, 2 American F-16 seconds appeared, their silver bodies catching sunlight like fleeting reflections on water. Their movements were fluid, precise, almost surreal, weaving arcs through the sky as if they were threads, stitching an invisible tapestry of motion. There was no hurry, no alarm, only the slow, deliberate grace of controlled flight. The older Jastrebs responded with measured adjustments, tilting wings, altering angles, rising and dipping in response. A silent dialogue of balance and awareness stretching across the infinite morning air. Each gesture, each glance, each micro-adjustment was drawn out, magnified, a meditation in motion. You drift beside them, weightless, your body merging with the rhythm of air, light, and motion. The radio hums softly, a gentle thread weaving through the air. Words are spoken slowly, punctuated by deliberate pauses, extending every syllable, each phrase a note in a symphony of calm and focus. Weapons armed, target in sight, maintain formation. Instructions float softly, almost hypnotically, over the valleys and hills, carrying the weight of anticipation without tension. Anticipation stretched into meditation. Each pilot breathes slowly, in sync with the engines, the air, the distant sunlight, glimmering across metal and clouds. Your own breath aligns, slows, lengthens, muscles soften, mind empties. Heartbeats synchronize with the continuous vibration of air and motion. Every inhale lifts, every exhale settles. You drift, fully weightless, fully serene. The J-21 seconds move into formation, one pair after the other, following precise arcs over the valleys. The morning sun catches the tips of their wings, scattering light across the cockpit canopies, creating small, shifting rainbows with every tilt. The air hums softly around each plane, whispering across metal and skin alike. Each pilot senses every subtle vibration, every tiny adjustment, every change in wind currents. Zlatan Krnalic, at the rear, glances at the horizon with eyes that are both focused and meditative. Each thought, each memory stretches out in slow, soft waves. He recalls rivers glimmering under sunlight, soft forested hills, engines humming under his fingertips. The memory lengthens, expanding until a single recollection seems to last forever, repeated gently like a mantra. Your mind drifts with his, calm, weightless, endlessly patient. Ahead, the weapons factory comes into view, a silent, distant target waiting amid the rolling landscape. Sunlight glimmers off its metal roofs, casting faint reflections onto the surrounding terrain. The pilots breathe slowly, their minds steady, focusing on the target, the formation, the flow of air and light around them. Each movement is deliberate, extended, like a soft meditation, tilting wings, adjusting aim, checking instruments. The bombs, rudimentary but effective, rest against the fuselage like sleeping sentinels, waiting for the precise moment to release. Every second of approach stretches into eternity, each breath measured, each thought prolonged. The very air seems to hold its breath, waiting with them, expanding time into a slow, hypnotic rhythm. Finally, the bombs are released. They fall from the planes with gentle precision, slicing through the soft morning air. Below, the impact radiates outward in slow-motion shockwaves, trees shaking subtly, dust rising like a faint cloud, light scattering across metal and soil. Each pilot watches, heart steady, eyes focused, breathing in long, slow waves. Krnalic observes the last bomb, seeing its arc, the delayed plume of smoke rising lazily, stretching into the sky. Target hit. Objective complete. Turn for home. The words flow slowly, almost in rhythm with the hum of engines, the drift of clouds, the glimmer of sunlight. Even danger, even tension, is transformed into a measured, deliberate, hypnotic rhythm that the mind can follow without strain. Behind them, The F-16 seconds begin to sweep in. Their engines roar softly but powerfully, carrying them through the sky in arcs of silver motion. The older Jastrebs respond with smooth, controlled maneuvers, diving into valleys, skimming treetops, weaving through hills with subtle precision. Krenalich's thoughts expand, slow and deliberate. The sound of engines, the scent of air, the feel of controls beneath his fingers, the distant glimmer of sunlight on enemy fuselages. Every detail is magnified, drawn out, hypnotic. You drift alongside, observing each motion, each tilt, each evasive maneuver, with quiet fascination, your body weightless, your mind open, your breath aligned with the rhythm of flight as missiles are fired. Each explosion is observed as a slow-motion spectacle. Fire blossoms in delicate, extended arcs. Smoke curls lazily into the sky. Fragments spin gently, time seeming to stretch around each moment. Krenalic feels each vibration, each shift in air, each subtle change in trajectory. Thought and breath synchronize with the chaos, transforming it into a hypnotic, meditative pattern. Every sound is extended, every light reflected, every motion drawn out. The chase unfolds like a slow, deliberate dance. Danger transformed into prolonged, surreal calm. Each pilot navigates the landscape with deliberate focus. Every valley, ridge, and treetop extended into long, measured observation. Movements are precise, careful, hypnotic in their execution. The sky, the hills, the clouds, the sunlight, the metal of the aircraft, they merge into a continuous, flowing pattern of motion, awareness, and calm. Breaths lengthen, muscles release, thoughts slow. Time itself stretches to accommodate every detail, every maneuver, every heartbeat. You are carried with them, weightless, serene, endlessly immersed in the hypnotic rhythm of controlled flight through vast, open morning skies. The horizon expands, distant hills rolling endlessly, rivers glimmering softly, forests stretching into infinity. Engines hum, wind whispers, sunlight dances. Clouds drift in endless motion, curving, curling, flowing around the plains. Every movement is magnified, prolonged, repeated softly in gentle waves of awareness. Breathing synchronizes with engines, with wind, with the subtle, hypnotic rhythm of flight. Each pilot, each plane, each subtle vibration forms a continuous loop of motion, calm, and infinite extension. The mind drifts with them, weightless, free, serene, endlessly suspended between earth and sky. And now, as the planes glide gracefully through the sun-drenched, cloud-filled sky, each tilt of a wing, each rise and dip, each gentle hum of metal and air stretches into a hypnotic continuum. Every inhalation lifts, every exhalation sinks. Every thought repeats softly, infinitely. Time is endless. You are weightless. You are calm. You are fully immersed, floating gently through this serene, hypnotic ballet of sky, air, and light, carried effortlessly, endlessly, toward perfect, infinite stillness. The morning sky stretched endlessly, a vast and infinite expanse of pale blue, silver, and gold, blending seamlessly as if painted by some slow, deliberate hand. Sunlight spilled in gentle threads across distant mountains, rolling hills, and the winding rivers below, reflecting in glimmers that danced softly across the landscape. Every detail seemed magnified, drawn out, as if time itself had slowed to allow each leaf, each stone, each ripple of water to exist fully, deliberately, hypnotically. The air carried a cool, crisp scent of morning dew and wet soil, touched by the faint aroma of distant pine forests. Each breath filled the lungs slowly, expanding gently, holding the calm of the earth and sky within, and released in a long, measured exhale that carried away tension, thought, and weight. You are invited to float with it, weightless, serene, aligned with the rhythm of air and light. Below, the earth revealed itself in intricate, endless detail. Rivers wound through valleys like liquid silver ribbons, glimmering faintly as they caught the first light of day. Forests swayed gently, their leaves whispering to one another in soft, continuous murmurs. Shadows stretching slowly across meadows and hillsides. Villages were nestled into folds of the terrain, rooftops glimmering in the soft sunlight, chimneys releasing thin, curling trails of smoke that spiraled lazily upwards. Roads twisted through the landscape like flowing threads, connecting distant homes and fields, each curve and turn a study in deliberate, hypnotic motion. Imagine tracing each path, each river, each glimmer of light, letting your eyes linger and your mind slow, expanding every second into an eternity of observation, meditation, and serenity. High above this serene world, 6 Jastreb J-21 seconds glided with precise, fluid motion. Engines hummed softly, a resonant vibration that pulsed through the pilot's hands, feet, chests, and even their thoughts. Each adjustment of a control, every tilt of a wing, every gentle pull on the stick was slow, deliberate, extended, magnified in time. The hum of the engines merged with the gentle whisper of air passing over wings, a continuous, hypnotic rhythm that carried the pilots weightless through currents of invisible air, over hills, valleys, and rivers. Imagine yourself rising alongside them. Every movement, every breath, every subtle shift extended into infinity. A slow, meditative dance through the endless morning sky. Ahead, 2 American F-16 seconds appeared, sleek and silver, gliding effortlessly through the golden morning light. Their movements were fluid, precise, almost ethereal, weaving arcs and spirals through the sky, like threads stitching a vast, living tapestry. There was no panic, no rush, only deliberate, controlled arcs of motion, each one extended in time, magnified, hypnotic. The Jastreb pilots responded with subtle, careful adjustments, tilting wings, climbing, diving, weaving between currents, every movement precise and deliberate. The dance between old and new, slower and faster, was hypnotic. Feel yourself drift with them, weightless, following the slow, flowing rhythm of air, light, and motion. Each detail magnified, each second extended. The radio crackled gently, words drawn out, elongated. Weapons armed, target in sight. Maintain formation, proceed with caution. Each phrase hung in the air, stretched, magnified, echoing softly in the valleys below. The pilots inhaled slowly, exhaled fully, synchronized with the continuous hum of engines and wind. Muscles softened, minds emptied, heartbeats aligned with the subtle vibrations of air and motion. Every inhale lifted, every exhale settled. Calmness, serenity, focus extended infinitely in the hypnotic rhythm of flight. As the Jastrebs approached the target, every detail expanded. Sunlight glimmered across their canopies, casting tiny rainbows on instrument panels. Air currents shifted subtly, brushing across wings and fuselage with delicate vibrations that resonated through the pilots' bodies. Kornalich at the rear observed the distant factory with focused serenity, noting the curve of its rooftops, the gentle rising of smoke, the subtle glimmer of morning dew on surrounding vegetation. Each thought stretched, each memory elongated. Rivers under sunlight, soft hills, warm winds, engines humming, and the sensation of weightless flight. The present moment became infinite, every heartbeat prolonged, every motion magnified into a hypnotic meditation. The bombs were released with calm precision. They dropped slowly, almost suspended, slicing through the morning air in arcs that seemed to stretch forever. The impact below sent up clouds of dust, rising in spirals that glimmered in soft sunlight. Trees shivered slightly in the delayed shockwave, and fragments of debris spun lazily, suspended in midair. Each pilot observed without haste, without alarm, breathing slowly, merging focus and serenity into a single, continuous rhythm. Every motion, every thought, every subtle vibration was prolonged, drawn into a hypnotic loop of awareness and calm. The F-16 seconds began their sweep, engines roaring in controlled, deliberate arcs. The older Jastrebs responded with smooth, meditative maneuvers, skimming treetops, diving into valleys, weaving between hills. Kornalich's mind expanded in slow motion. The hum of engines, the sensation of air, the glint of sunlight on metal, the subtle shift in wind currents. Every detail magnified, every thought extended. You drift alongside him, weightless, serene, observing each tilt, each maneuver, each evasive motion with hypnotic attention. Missiles fired, explosions bloomed slowly, fragments spinning gently, smoke curling into the sky in extended arcs. Danger transformed into meditation. Every vibration felt, every light reflected, every motion prolonged. The chase became a slow, flowing dance of survival, observation, and calm. The sky, the hills, the valleys, the clouds, the sunlight, and the hum of engines merged into a continuous, hypnotic rhythm. Breathing synchronized, muscles released, heartbeats slowed. Each moment extended infinitely, a seamless flow of motion, awareness, and serenity. The horizon stretched endlessly. Rivers shimmered, forests swayed, clouds drifted lazily. Sunlight scattered across peaks, valleys, and rooftops, each reflection magnified, prolonged, hypnotic. Air carried the hum of engines and the soft whisper of wind, guiding thoughts into long, meditative arcs. Pilots adjusted wings, noses, throttles, every motion deliberate and drawn out, forming an infinite loop of serene motion. Mind, body, breath, and horizon merged, weightless, calm, endless, hypnotic. As the pursuit continued, every detail became a slow, continuous meditation. Engines hummed, air whispered, sunlight glimmered, clouds drifted, terrain unfolded in infinite detail. Every tilt of a wing, every evasive maneuver, every adjustment of throttle, every shift in horizon, every ripple of wind was prolonged, repeated, magnified. The pilot's minds extended each perception, each memory, each instinct into infinite loops. Karnalich's breath synchronized with the engines, with the air, with the sunlight. Thoughts slowed, muscles softened, heartbeats aligned. Every inhale lifted, every exhale settled. Time expanded infinitely. Calmness and focus merged into an endless, hypnotic rhythm of sky, air, and motion. Finally, as the chase softened, planes drifting apart in gentle arcs, engines vibrating a low, continuous note, the morning light casting long shadows over valleys and rivers, every pilot, every motion, every breath merged into a continuous, infinite meditation. Weightless, serene, fully immersed, each moment prolonged, each detail magnified, each second stretched into infinity. The sky, the air, the light, the movement, and the pilots themselves were part of a slow, infinite rhythm, hypnotic, peaceful, calm, unbroken. Every inhale lifts, every exhale sinks, every motion repeats softly, infinitely. You float with them, weightless, serene, endlessly carried toward complete, unbroken stillness. The sky had transformed into a soft, undulating canvas of pastel blues, delicate silvers, and the faintest streaks of golden sunlight, stretching endlessly in every direction, infinite and serene. Clouds drifted like gentle waves frozen in slow motion, curling and twisting, some reflecting faint glimmers of sunlight, others hanging in the air with a weightless grace that seemed to suspend time itself. The air was cool, carrying the faint scent of morning dew, mingled with the earthy aroma of distant forests and rolling hills. Every inhale brought a sense of expansion, a stretching of the lungs, as if the very act of breathing lengthened the passage of time. Every exhale released tension, scattering thoughts and worries like dust into the wind, leaving only clarity, serenity, and calm. Beneath the pilots, the earth unfolded in a living tapestry of endless detail. Rivers glimmered like threads of liquid silver, winding languidly through valleys and around forested hills. Each bend caught the sunlight differently, reflecting soft flashes of warmth, like tiny sparks dancing across the landscape. Forests swayed gently in invisible currents of air, leaves brushing against one another in a quiet rhythm, shadows stretching slowly across meadows and hillsides. Villages lay nestled within folds of the terrain, rooftops catching the sun in soft glimmers, chimneys releasing thin ribbons of smoke spiraling upward, curling lazily into the sky. Roads meandered like flowing threads, connecting distant homes and fields, each curve and turn a study in deliberate, hypnotic motion. Imagine tracing each river, each glimmer, each ribbon of smoke with your eyes, letting your mind slow, expanding every second into an eternity of calm observation, of meditation, of serene awareness. Above this living world, 6 Jastreb J, 21 seconds glided like silent sentinels through the early light. The engines hummed with a soft, continuous vibration, resonating through the pilots' bodies, through their hands, their feet, their chests. Every adjustment, each tilt of a wing, each gentle pull on the stick was deliberate, extended, magnified. The hum of engines merged with the soft whisper of air passing over wings, creating a hypnotic rhythm, carrying the planes and their pilots effortlessly through the currents of invisible wind, over hills, valleys, and rivers. Feel yourself rising beside them, weightless. Every movement, every breath, every micro-adjustment drawn out in infinite, soothing loops. Time itself seems to slow as you drift alongside, floating in calm, serene, endless motion. The American F-16 seconds appeared again in the distance, their silver bodies glinting faintly in the morning sunday. Their arcs of motion were fluid and precise, weaving spirals and graceful curves through the sky, as if painting invisible threads of movement across the infinite canvas. There was no urgency, no panic, only the slow, deliberate ballet of controlled flight. The Jastrebs responded in kind. Each tilt, each rise, each dip magnified, drawn out, hypnotic in its precision. Every glance at the enemy, every subtle adjustment of trajectory, every minute correction of the stick extended in time, merging awareness, focus, and calm into one continuous, flowing meditation. The radio crackled softly, words drifting through the air in gentle, elongated waves. Maintain formation, target in sight, weapons ready. Each phrase seemed to hang, prolonged, magnified in hypnotic rhythm, echoing softly through the valleys below. Pilots inhaled deeply, exhaled fully, muscles releasing, minds emptying, hearts sinking with the hum of engines, the air around them, the gentle light spilling across the landscape. Every inhale lifted, every exhale sank. Calmness and focus expanded into infinity, stretching every moment into a seamless, hypnotic rhythm. As they approached the target, the landscape revealed itself in exquisite detail. Rivers curved gracefully, reflecting sunlight in tiny sparks of gold. Forests shimmered, leaves catching light, shadows stretching and moving slowly across valleys and hills. Chronology's gaze lingered on the distant factories below, their rooftops catching the first golden glimmers of sun, faint smoke rising from chimneys in soft, curling ribbons. Every detail elongated, magnified, hypnotic. Each memory, each sensation of previous flights of engines humming, of winds brushing against the fuselage, of light glimmering across metal, expanded infinitely in his mind. Your own thoughts slow, your body relaxes, breathing aligns, and every heartbeat stretches into a prolonged, soothing rhythm. The bombs were released with gentle precision, falling in slow, graceful arcs. Air whispered softly around them as they descended, slicing through currents, leaving faint trails of movement. Impact below was observed without rush, without alarm. A slow, deliberate unfolding of motion, clouds of dust rising, fragments spinning in slow arcs, trees trembling subtly in the delayed shockwave. Each pilot breathed deeply, mind and body aligned with the hypnotic motion of air, engine, light, and terrain. Every detail prolonged, every second stretched, every thought expanded into an infinite loop of serene awareness. The F-16 seconds pursued with smooth, deliberate arcs, engines resonating a deep, hypnotic note. The older Jastrebs responded with meditative precision, skimming treetops, diving through valleys, weaving between hills. Each pilot's inner thoughts expanded, slowed, harmonizing with engines, wind, sunlight. Every detail magnified, every motion repeated softly in infinite loops. Kornalich's breath aligned with the hum of his engines, the subtle shifts of air, the glint of sunlight on metal. Time stretched, muscles released, thoughts dissolved, heartbeats slowed. Calm expanded endlessly, a continuous rhythm of serene motion. Missiles fired, explosions unfurled in slow motion, smoke curling, fragments spinning gently, light scattering softly. Danger became a meditative pattern. Every vibration felt, every flash observed, every motion prolonged, magnified. The chase transformed into a slow, hypnotic dance of survival and awareness. The sky, hills, clouds, sunlight, engines and pilots merged into a single continuous flowing rhythm. Breathing slowed, muscles softened, thoughts calmed. Every inhale lifted, every exhale sank. Time stretched infinitely. The horizon expanded endlessly. Rivers shimmered, forests swayed, clouds drifted lazily. Sunlight scattered across valleys, rooftops, treetops, and rivers, reflecting in tiny, prolonged sparks. Air carried the hum of engines, whisper of wind, guiding thoughts into long hypnotic arcs. Pilots adjusted wings, noses, throttles, every motion deliberate, extended, magnified into infinite loops of serene rhythm. Mind, body, breath, and horizon merged, weightless, calm, endless, hypnotic. As the pursuit softened and planes drifted apart, engines vibrating a continuous, low note, the morning light casting long shadows over valleys and rivers, pilots merged with the continuous, infinite rhythm of motion, weightless, serene, fully immersed, every moment prolonged, every detail magnified, every second stretched into infinity. Sky, air, light, motion, and the pilots themselves formed a slow, infinite ballet, of hypnotic serenity. Every inhale lifts, every exhale sinks. Every motion repeats softly, infinitely. You drift with them, weightless, serene, endlessly carried toward unbroken, complete stillness. Finally, as Chapter 5 concludes, the world below remains bathed in soft golden light. Rivers continue to gleam, forests sway gently, clouds drift endlessly. The hum of engines fades into the calm of the morning. Pilots glide slowly, deliberately, meditative, absorbed in the hypnotic rhythm of air, light, and motion. Every detail, every second, every motion stretches, magnified and serene. You float beside them, fully immersed, weightless, endless, calm, hypnotic, carried toward complete tranquility, fully aligned with the rhythm of sky, air, and light. The morning unfolded as if the world itself had slowed its breath, stretching each instant into an eternity of gentle calm. The sky was a vast expanse of pale blue, soft and infinite, lightly brushed with the faintest whispers of gold and silver sunlight. Clouds drifted like slow, deliberate dancers, curling and unfurling in shapes that seemed both random and perfectly intentional. Their shadows stretched over the rolling hills below, touching forests, rivers, and meadows with a delicate hand. The air was cool and scented with the fresh earthiness of dew-laden grass, distant pine forests, and the faint, lingering warmth of the sun's first rays. Every inhalation filled the lungs slowly, fully, and deliberately. Every exhalation carried away tension, leaving a soft, expansive calm in its wake. Beneath the plains, the landscape revealed itself in layers of hypnotic detail. Rivers wound sinuously through the valleys, their surfaces catching the sunlight in tiny, prolonged flashes, like threads of silver weaving through the green tapestry of the earth. Forests swayed gently, leaves brushing against one another in whispered conversations with the wind. Villages lay nestled in folds of terrain, rooftops reflecting pale sunlight, chimneys sending lazy curls of smoke into the sky. Roads meandered through fields and hills like delicate ribbons, guiding the eye slowly, deliberately, through the quiet beauty of the land. Every curve, every bend, every glimmer of reflection was extended, elongated, magnified, as if time itself had become viscous and slow, allowing each detail to bloom fully before moving on. Above this world of gentle motion, 6 Jastreb J-21 seconds floated through the air with calm precision. Engines hummed a low, resonant note that vibrated through the cockpit, through the pilot's hands and feet, their torsos, and into their minds. Each tilt of a wing, each adjustment of the throttle, each subtle pull on the control stick was extended, deliberate, a part of a slow, flowing rhythm. Currents of air whispered across the fuselage, lifting, pushing, carrying the planes through invisible pathways over valleys, rivers, and forests, across rolling hills and distant peaks. Karnalich, at the rear of the formation, felt each micro-vibration, each shift in air pressure, each glint of sunlight reflecting off his cockpit glass, stretching perception into an expansive meditation. You float beside him, weightless, each breath elongated, each heartbeat aligned with the gentle rhythm of flight. The F-16 seconds had receded into the distance, now appearing as faint specks against the horizon. Their arcs through the sky were precise, choreographed, almost artistic in the way they traversed the vast space above the Earth. The jastribs adjusted their formation in slow, deliberate motions. Each pilot's mind stretched time, elongating thoughts and perceptions, expanding focus into a seamless meditation of movement and awareness. Every inhale lifted slowly, every exhale sank fully. Tension released, serenity increased. Time seemed to dissolve, leaving only the continuous hypnotic now, where every detail, every breath, and every heartbeat was magnified and prolonged. The terrain below revealed itself with hypnotic, almost overwhelming detail. Rivers curved like liquid silver, reflecting sunlight in endless sparkles. Forests swayed, their leaves forming intricate patterns of movement in response to invisible currents of air. Valleys stretched endlessly, dotted with villages, winding roads, and cultivated fields. Every fold of land, every reflection of sunlight on water, every gentle ripple of wind across a forest canopy was observed, absorbed, and prolonged in the mind's eye. Pilots observed calmly, each sense extended, awareness infinite. You drift alongside them, weightless, immersed in the slow unfolding of sky, land, and air. Each motion prolonged, each sight absorbed fully. As the approach to the base began, every micro-adjustment became an act of extended, deliberate meditation. Wings tilted with soft grace, engines hummed in low, steady resonance. Subtle shifts in balance and air pressure were felt fully, over extended moments. Pilots exhaled slowly, muscles relaxed fully, hearts synced with the gentle rhythm of air and motion. Runways appeared ahead, like soft ribbons of silver, glimmering in sunlight. Every tilt, every rise and dip, each minor correction was expanded into multiple layers of observation, a hypnotic dance of control, awareness, and serenity. Karnowledge envisioned the tires touching down in gentle arcs, smooth, elongated, each vibration absorbed and transformed into calm. Every second was stretched, each perception magnified, each motion prolonged into hypnotic fluidity. Landing unfolded slowly, deliberately, each plane touching down with grace and precision. Engines hummed, tires whispered softly against the runway, the subtle friction blending into the steady vibration of motion. Pilots exhaled long, slow breaths, muscles fully relaxing, hearts aligning with the continuous resonance of air, light, and movement. Sunlight scattered across fuselage and wings, glimmering, reflecting soft hypnotic patterns that danced across every surface. The world seemed infinite, each instant prolonged, each perception magnified into eternal calm. Breathing synchronized, muscles softened, mind emptied, thoughts dissolved, heartbeats slowed, weightless, calm, hypnotic. Upon exiting the aircraft, pilots moved slowly, deliberately. Hands touched controls, feet shifted softly, shoulders relaxed completely. Karnowledge inhaled the cool morning air, every movement prolonged, each sensation magnified, each breath drawn out. Sunlight danced across fields, trees swayed, rivers glimmered endlessly, every detail absorbed, each perception extended. The pilots and the landscape merged into a single, continuous, flowing rhythm. You drift alongside them, weightless, fully immersed in the endless, hypnotic flow of calm. Each inhale lifting, each exhale settling, each moment stretching infinitely. Breath, body, mind, motion, light, all unified, serene, complete. The morning deepened. Shadows lengthened. Sunlight scattered in long, gentle beams across valleys and hills. Leaves shimmered on each tree. Water rippled slowly, reflecting golden glimmers in hypnotic arcs. Pilots moved slowly, breathing fully, each gesture deliberate, muscles soft. Thoughts, memories, reflections on mission, on comrades, on life itself expanded, repeated, elongated, each narrative layered over the previous, soft loops of reflection, calm, and serenity. Every sensation magnified, every perception extended, each sound prolonged, each motion drawn into hypnotic awareness. Time itself seemed to dissolve into the gentle rhythm of the morning. Air currents carried soft whispers of leaves and water. Sunlight created delicate patterns that shifted imperceptibly. Engines, tires, footsteps, breathing, all part of a single continuous loop, a meditation of motion and calm. Pilots leaned back, muscles loose, minds quiet, awareness flowing in gentle arcs. The world stretched infinitely in every direction, every detail magnified, every sensation extended, every thought drawn into calm, hypnotic loops. Rivers, trees, hills, valleys, sunlight, wind, each element interwoven into the meditative tapestry of the morning. You float with them, weightless, calm, aligned with the gentle rhythm of sky, land, and air. As the day continued to unfold, the pilot's awareness extended to the smallest details. Sunlight reflecting off distant rooftops, the motion of clouds drifting slowly, a bird skimming across a river each observed, repeated in thought, expanded, drawn out. Every breath, every heartbeat, synchronized with the rhythm of observation and meditation. Engines cooled, leaving a gentle hum in the background, blending seamlessly with the whispers of wind through leaves and grass. The landscape itself seemed to pulse with a slow, hypnotic heartbeat, and every motion of the pilots became part of the infinite rhythm. You are immersed fully, every sense attuned, every perception magnified, every moment flowing gently into the next, endlessly. The day continued its slow, deliberate unfolding as the pilots moved across the airfield. Each step measured, each movement conscious, almost ritualistic in its calm. The sunlight warmed their shoulders, their faces, the metal of the aircraft gleaming softly with each ray that touched it. Every breath was long and deliberate, inhaling the gentle scent of grass, earth, and distant pine. Each exhale released the weight of tension, leaving only a vast, expansive calm that flowed like a gentle river through the body and mind. Around them, the landscape seemed almost alive, breathing alongside them. The trees shifted slowly in the wind, leaves brushing together in whispered conversation, their patterns moving in gentle, hypnotic arcs. Shadows stretched lazily across the fields, the light catching on the dew in the grass and creating tiny, elongated prisms that scattered like miniature stars. Rivers moved slowly, winding through the valleys below, their surfaces reflecting clouds and sky in a seamless, ever-changing mirror. The hills rolled endlessly, rising and falling like gentle waves frozen in time, each crest and dip extending into infinity, a soothing rhythm for the senses. As the pilots inspected their planes, their hands tracing the familiar contours of fuselage, wings, and cockpit instruments, their minds drifted gently into memories, reflections, and calm observation. Each moment was expanded, drawn out, explored in detail, like the slow unfurling of a flower petal in the morning sunday. They remembered previous missions, the sound of engines, the feel of wind across the skin, the subtle vibrations through hands and feet. But now, each memory was softened, extended, filtered through a lens of serenity and reflection. The dangers of the past were distant echoes, each thought a gentle ripple across a lake of calm awareness. Krnalich paused for a moment, breathing deeply, feeling the air fill his lungs completely, then exhale slowly, fully, drawing out every second. His gaze followed the gentle sway of a distant tree, the delicate shimmer of sunlight on the river, the slow curling of smoke from a village chimney. Every detail was amplified, magnified in the mind's eye, each reflection stretched into an endless moment of observation and calm. The rhythm of breath, heartbeat, and movement synchronized with the subtle pulse of the earth, the whisper of the wind, the quiet murmur of life all around. You feel it too, weightless, drifting alongside, fully absorbed in the slow, hypnotic unfolding of the day. The pilot's footsteps along the tarmac were slow, deliberate, each step a meditation, each movement a gentle affirmation of presence. The metallic hum of the aircraft mingled with the whispers of wind, the faint rustle of leaves, and the distant call of birds. Time seemed to stretch infinitely, each second expanding to fill the space of minutes, each moment magnified in its tranquility. Every gesture, every motion became a meditation, a hypnotic flow, a continuous loop of calm awareness. The body softened, the mind quieted, the heart aligned with the rhythm of the earth, the air, and the sky. Looking toward the horizon, the pilot saw the hills roll endlessly, each peak, each valley drawn out in slow, gentle arcs. The clouds drifted above, curling, folding, reflecting sunlight in a soft, shimmering pattern that shifted imperceptibly with each moment. The rivers below continued their slow, winding journey, catching the light, scattering it in tiny, sparkling flashes that seemed suspended in time. Forests stretched in dense, undulating waves, the leaves moving in hypnotic, repetitive arcs, the shadows dancing slowly across the ground. Each detail was prolonged, expanded, repeated in gentle variations, a soothing, meditative symphony for the senses. As they moved back toward their quarters, The pilots' minds wandered, gentle and unfocused, flowing like a soft river. They thought of home, of loved ones, of quiet mornings like this one. Each memory was elongated, each reflection magnified, until the past, present, and imagined future merged into a seamless, hypnotic continuum. Breath after breath, heartbeat after heartbeat, awareness expanded, softening the edges of thought, dissolving tension, creating a space of infinite calm. You drift with them, fully weightless, fully present, fully absorbed in the endless rhythm of sky, land, and mind. The planes themselves seemed alive, humming with residual energy, vibrating softly in the sunlight. Each curve of metal, each panel, each line extended into gentle, elongated perception. Pilots ran their hands along the fuselage, feeling every contour, every seam, every imperfection magnified into a tactile meditation. Engines sat quietly, resonating softly with the ambient air, each vibration a gentle pulse, aligning with the breath, heartbeat, and thoughts of those around. The world became a symphony of gentle motion, subtle sound, and flowing light. Every perception prolonged, every sensation extended, each second drawn out into an endless wave of calm, hypnotic awareness. Time continued its deliberate unfolding. Sunlight shifted imperceptibly, shadows stretching and contracting in slow, rhythmic cycles. The grass swayed in tiny waves, each blade catching the light and shimmering softly. Leaves on distant trees brushed together in slow, hypnotic patterns. Rivers wound slowly across the valleys, reflecting clouds that drifted endlessly, curling, folding, stretching across the sky. Each natural element was magnified in perception, each observation prolonged, repeated, varied, creating a slow, hypnotic rhythm that filled the senses completely. The world was calm, infinite, gentle. You are immersed fully, weightless, aware, and absorbed in the endless flow of serene detail. The pilots paused at the edge of the airfield, watching as sunlight danced across distant hills and valleys. Their breaths were long, slow, deliberate, filling lungs completely and releasing fully. Each movement, each subtle shift of weight, each gesture of hand or foot became part of the extended meditation. Thoughts wandered gently, softly, looping, repeating, stretching infinitely. Soft echoes of memory, reflection, and calm observation. The wind whispered through grass and leaves, carrying distant scents and soft murmurs. Time itself dissolved into a seamless, hypnotic continuum, each second drawn out into infinite perception. You drift alongside them, fully immersed in the hypnotic, serene rhythm of sight, sound, and motion. As the morning edged into noon, subtle changes occurred. Sunlight grew warmer, shadows shifting imperceptibly, the air carrying gentle scents of earth, pine, and distant fields. Rivers glimmered, forests swayed, and the distant mountains shimmered faintly with heat and light. Pilots moved slowly, deliberately. Every action, an extended meditation, every gesture prolonged, every perception magnified. Inner reflections deepened, memories of flight, camaraderie, danger, and survival blending into hypnotic loops of serene thought. The entire landscape, sky, and air merged into a single continuous, flowing rhythm of calm. Breath, heartbeat, and awareness were perfectly synchronized, extending infinitely, each moment drawn into endless meditation. With every step, every glance, every breath, the pilots, the air, the earth, and you, weightless and drifting, became part of the same hypnotic rhythm. Each detail of trees, rivers, hills, clouds, and light was magnified, expanded, repeated, a continuous meditation of serene perception. Every sound, every vibration, every movement prolonged, flowing into the next, seamless, endless. The world breathed, the mind breathed, and your consciousness merged gently, fully, with the slow, infinite unfolding of calm. You float, weightless, serene, hypnotically aware, every second extended, every perception amplified, every moment drawn into infinite meditative calm. As the pilots finally approached the airfield, a profound sense of completion settled over them. The planes glided effortlessly, each movement deliberate, yet softened by the gentle rhythm of wind and air currents. Every tilt of a wing, every subtle adjustment of the throttle, every micro-correction was extended in time, slowed to a pace where even the smallest gesture became an act of meditative awareness. Kernowledge, leading the rear, felt the residual vibrations from engines pass through his body in gentle waves, aligning perfectly with his heartbeat, his breath, his mind. Every detail of the landscape, below the glimmering rivers, the rolling hills, the swaying trees, expanded in perception, magnified, softened, stretching into an endless field of calm observation. The other pilots followed closely, each immersed in their own hypnotic awareness. Shadows lengthened across the tarmac as the sunlight shifted imperceptibly, casting long, soft streaks across the aircraft. Tiny details, often unnoticed, revealed themselves fully: the shimmer of heat on the metal, the faint glint of morning dew on the grass, the subtle curl of smoke from distant chimneys, the gentle whisper of the wind moving through leaves. Each moment was extended, drawn out, absorbed, creating a seamless, continuous meditation. Breath after breath, heartbeat after heartbeat, awareness merged with the motion, the light, and the vast, serene landscape surrounding them. As the planes descended toward the runway, the landing sequence unfolded with perfect, deliberate precision. Tires whispered against the asphalt, engines hummed gently, vibrations flowing into the pilots' bodies in calm, resonant waves. Every micro-adjustment, every soft tilt of a wing, every gentle pull on the stick was magnified, extended, observed in exquisite detail. Pilots breathed slowly, deeply, each exhale drawing away tension, each inhale filling them with expansive calm. Sunlight reflected off fuselage and wings in gentle, sparkling patterns, dancing softly across the surface and onto the ground. Every sensation, every perception, every motion was prolonged, a hypnotic rhythm that enveloped the mind and body in infinite serenity. Upon touching down, The pilots allowed their planes to roll gradually along the runway, letting the vibrations and gentle hum of the engines guide them into total awareness of the present moment. The landscape extended infinitely in their vision. Rolling hills, forests, rivers, villages, fields, every detail magnified, drawn out, repeated in gentle variations. Each breath synchronized with the hum of engines, the movement of air, and the subtle vibrations through the fuselage. Every moment was infused with calm. The relentless tension of the past dissolved into the soft embrace of now. Thoughts of danger, fear, and urgency receded like distant echoes, leaving only the serene rhythm of life, motion, and observation. As they taxied to their parking positions, the pilots took a final, expansive look at the vast, hypnotic panorama around them. Each tree, each blade of grass, each distant river, each subtle ripple in sunlight was absorbed fully, every detail drawn into a continuous loop of perception and calm. The world itself seemed to breathe alongside them, slow, deliberate, endless. Every movement on the airfield, steps, gestures, the soft humming engines blended seamlessly with the natural rhythms of wind, light, and earth. Pilots felt a profound sense of unity with the world, a gentle merging of body, mind, and environment. You drift alongside them, weightless, fully immersed in the gentle flow of sensory meditation. After shutting down their engines, the pilots disembarked slowly, deliberately, each step a mindful, elongated gesture. Hands brushed over instruments, wings, panels, every touch magnified, every motion observed. Krnalich inhaled the fresh morning air, the scent of grass, earth, and distant pine filling him completely, and exhaled softly, letting go of tension, fear, and strain. His gaze lingered on the horizon, the hills and valleys, the rivers winding like silver threads through the land, the clouds drifting gently above. Every detail became a meditation, every observation a gentle, hypnotic loop of calm. Breath, heartbeat, awareness merged seamlessly with the rhythm of the earth, the sky, and the air. The pilots gathered together, standing in quiet reflection, the air around them filled with soft, subtle sounds, wind through leaves, distant bird song, the faint rustle of grass. They shared a look of unspoken understanding, the silent acknowledgement of the trials they had endured, the dangers faced, and the resilience found. Thoughts drifted gently, memories of their journey expanding into soft waves of reflection. Each recollection was extended, repeated in gentle variations, magnifying the sense of calm and completion. The challenges, the danger, the adrenaline all dissolved into a serene, hypnotic awareness of survival, reflection, and peaceful accomplishment. As the sun continued to rise higher, bathing the airfield in soft golden light, the pilots allowed themselves to fully relax. Muscles softened completely, breath extended, heartbeat slowed, mind emptied of tension. Each sensory detail, the sway of trees, the glint of sunlight on distant rivers, the soft vibration of the earth underfoot, the gentle hum of the planes, was magnified, repeated, and drawn into a continuous, soothing loop. Time stretched infinitely. Every second expanded into a calm, hypnotic present. You drift with them, fully weightless, fully immersed in the serene rhythm of observation, meditation, and quiet reflection. The day deepened into a gentle, timeless space. Shadows softened, clouds drifted slowly across the sky, rivers shimmered endlessly, and the wind carried the faint, soothing fragrance of nature's gentle rhythms. Pilots reclined, breathing slowly and deliberately, each exhale releasing what remained of tension, each inhale filling the body and mind with expansive calm. Thoughts wandered gently, looping, drifting, soft echoes of memories, reflection, and serenity. The world itself became a gentle, endless meditation. Each element, air, light, land, water, flowing together in hypnotic rhythm. The mind emptied, consciousness merged with the calm, infinite space, every sensation magnified, every observation prolonged, every breath a wave of tranquil awareness. Finally, as the sun began its slow descent, painting the horizon with streaks of gold, amber, and soft lavender, the pilots found themselves fully immersed in the tranquil, infinite rhythm of the world around them. The planes stood silent, the air still, and the landscape stretched endlessly in hypnotic beauty. They closed their eyes, inhaling deeply, exhaling fully, letting go completely of all tension, all thought, all concern. The gentle pulse of breath, heartbeat, and awareness synchronized with the slow, eternal rhythm of earth, air, and sky. Every detail, every movement, every thought dissolved into calm. The story of flight, danger, pursuit, and survival reached its natural conclusion, now replaced by the infinite, hypnotic serenity of presence, meditation, and the quiet embrace of sleep. Weightless, calm, fully immersed, you drift alongside the pilots, the landscape, the air, and the sky, carried on the endless current of breath and awareness. The world flows gently, endlessly, each moment drawn into infinity, each sensation magnified, each thought dissolved. The sun dips lower, the sky softens into twilight, and the gentle hypnotic rhythm of nature, flight, and meditation envelops you completely. You are at peace, you are calm, you are weightless. The story ends here, but the endless flow of serenity continues, guiding you into a deep, restful sleep.